The Warlord's tent smelled of sweat, gun oil, and cheap incense. I was 3 hours into negotiating peace with a man who collected enemies the way others collected wives when my phone buzzed. One message: hospital, daughter, coma, drunk driver. The name of the driver hit harder than any explosion I'd ever set off. A tech billionaire's son, untouchable, already on a private jet. I kept my face still, though my insides convulsed. Years of Black Ops discipline, years of teaching myself how not to flinch when the world collapses. But the Warlord saw. He laughed, a sound like broken glass. Then he pushed a gold-plated phone across the table toward me. "I own that country," he said, "and I hate drunk drivers. Tell me which jet. I will have it diverted. He will be a gift from me to you." The room spun, my daughter fighting for her life, my wife screaming down the line, my own hands motionless over the phone. I had spent years disarming men like him. Now he offered me a weapon I never thought I'd wield. I walked out of the tent under the desert sun. My ears still rang with his words. A gift. The truth pressed down on me with surgical precision. The law would never touch the billionaire's son. Money was armor. Jets were escape routes. My daughter was just collateral to him. And here I was, negotiating peace while my family was being gutted. I replayed the message from the hospital again and again. The words blurred, but the meaning remained sharp. Unconscious, severe trauma, no guarantee. My wife's voice cracked through a voicemail. He won't face trial. They're saying diplomatic immunity. Please, do something. I thought of every mission where I'd promised myself to come home whole, to shield my family from the violence I was trained to summon. Now violence might be the only language left. I didn't answer the Warlord immediately. That would have been weakness. Instead, I played the soldier I'd buried long ago. Information first, emotion second. I traced the jet, tail number, flight plan, crew. My old contacts lit up the darknet like flares in the night. Within an hour, I knew more about the billionaire's escape route than his own security team. Meanwhile, I sat at my daughter's bedside in silence. Machines breathed for her. Tubes carried life where her body had failed. Her skin was pale, her hands limp. I brushed my fingers against hers and whispered nothing. Because what could I say? That her future was in the hands of men who played golf with senators? That her pain was a footnote in a corporate report? No, I whispered to myself instead. Quiet, cold, calculated. Wait, watch, strike. 2 nights later, the truth arrived on a secured line. My source confirmed it. The boy had landed, not in the country he'd planned. The Warlord had kept his word. The jet was diverted. The boy was now a guest, and so was I. When I entered the Warlord's compound again, he greeted me like a brother. His men stood back, eyes shining with amusement, waiting to see what I would do with my gift. They dragged the boy in. He was pale, shaking, his polo shirt stained with sweat. He wasn't a monster. He was a spoiled child. Drunk, reckless, careless, a coward wrapped in billions. He looked at me with wide eyes. It was an accident. Please, I said nothing. Because meaning didn't matter. Results did. My daughter's broken body mattered. His survival did not. I didn't touch him. I didn't need to. Instead, I laid a folder on the table. Flight records, bank transfers, evidence of cover-ups his father had orchestrated. I made sure cameras recorded everything. The Warlord leaned forward, grinning. "You want him dead?" "No," I said. My voice was calm, detached. "I want him seen." His empire thrived on shadows. Mine would thrive on light. I handed the Warlord the evidence. Leak it, all of it. Let the world devour them. The boy sobbed. He begged. He tried to crawl toward me. I didn't move. Because revenge isn't about rage. It's about clarity. And clarity meant watching him fall apart, knowing his name, his father's empire, his entire dynasty would be reduced to ash under the weight of truth. By dawn, the world had changed. The files spread like wildfire. Every screen, every headline, every whisper carried their shame. The billionaire's son was no longer untouchable. He was exposed. I returned to the hospital, my daughter's hand still limp in mine. I told her nothing of what I had done. She didn't need to know. She just needed to wake up one day to a world where monsters weren't immune. As I sat there, the silence was heavy, but inside me something had shifted. Not peace, not satisfaction. Just the cold truth that sometimes justice isn't found in courtrooms, but in shadows where men like me still breathe. I kissed her forehead gently and whispered, "He can't hurt anyone again."
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.